Bryan, talk about the opportunity to come back here, how that ended up working out for you.
You know, I found out actually the last day of the season on that Saturday. Talked to Coach Helton and asked me if I wanted to come back and be the offensive coordinator. And you know, I have great memories here, being very successful offensively with Coach Bryan. And you know, I really love the town and I really love the kids that you got to coach here. So obviously, you know, it was a no-brainer. I jumped at the opportunity to come back.
How have you changed as a coach in the last few years?
That's a great question. I don't know how much I've changed. As you know, personally, I think you evolve schematically a little bit. You learn from new people. I was had the opportunity to work at SC with Coach Clay Helton and Coach Martin, and those guys were huge on my development as a coach. Learning new ideas, how to do things. You know, when you deal with that high level of athlete, you know, you're dealing with a lot of personalities, and so you're learning how to deal with those things. Some egos sometimes that you got to get around. You know, I don't know per se as how much I grew that way, but learning those things were good.
Bryan, I want to get your perspective as much as you want to talk about it from the outside. When I learned that this was going down, that you were coming back,
yeah.
From my perspective, for Clay to give your blessing to join his brother's staff, and I realize it's a promotion. To me, that looks like a real big solid by Clay to give his blessing for you to come here and join his brother's staff.
Well, yeah, obviously that's the first part. You know, in this profession, you got to stay loyal to who you're with, and that's the first person I talk to. I think it makes it a lot easier transition when it's brother to brother. But going and talking to Coach about it, you know, we really talked about it for about 3 days. And really, you know, this decision didn't come easy. It didn't come overnight. You know, it was a lot of thought. Talked to a lot of people that I trusted. You know, obviously talked to my wife. You know, how'd you like Bowling Green? Coming back, and you know, eventually you come down to the decision of, you know, you always want to work with really good people. And, you know, I'm going from one of the greatest coaches in college football as far as a person to another really, really good person. So you know your quality of life is going to be excellent. And then professionally, you want to grow. You want to continue to learn, and you want to have the ability to win. You want to have the ability to be successful. And at the end of the day, you want that success to come on you. You want it to be, you know, what good or bad, what happens here is going to be on us. And, you know, as a coach, I don't think you want anything more than that. And all those things had great answers at Western Kentucky. And when the final decision was made, you know, at the end of it, when I thought about everything and I laid everything out in front, the pros and cons, there wasn't a lot of cons to coming back. And so, you know, the final decision came pretty easy. And obviously, since I've been back, it's been awesome.
When did you first meet Tyson?
I met Coach Helton in 2007. He recruited me. A coach by the name of Tyson Summers had started recruiting me at UAB, and you know, obviously when Coach Helton became the quarterbacks coach, you take over your position in that recruiting and playing quarterback. I was fortunate to play with a lot of really good players in high school, so in turn it led to a little bit of success for me. And getting the opportunity to go play there, getting to meet Coach Helton, getting to meet his dad. You know, I saw the first thing you notice about Coach is how genuine he is. You know, good or bad, you know what you're getting. And you know, he's a hard-nosed coach. He tells you the truth about everything. And when you're a player that wants to be great, that's what you want. You want a knowledgeable coach that's going to tell you the truth, that's going to really coach you hard. And you know, I went through a lot of hard times at UAB with my shoulder. I had 3 shoulder surgery. You know, I basically didn't practice for 2.5 years because of, you know, my throwing shoulder. And you know, he never once gave up on me. And when at that point in your life, when you have that kind of father figure that's showing you the way through some tough times, it leads to the loyalty he has for me right now.
Bryan, I know this is your first full-time offensive coordinator job, but I was down at the bowl game at Boca Raton Bowl, and I realized it was just one game, but it was a bowl game. But it was obviously a whirlwind.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and I remember being in that press conference after the game, and I could tell how happy you were, but I could also tell you were going to go home and sleep well that night. And just that whole 4-week stretch, Bryan, maybe 3-week stretch, do you still chalk that up and use that as mental notes for the job you have now?
Absolutely. You know, that was kind of my, you know, whatever the word is, of seeing if I could do it. You know, I believed in myself. We had a really good staff and really good players that led to a lot of that success. But, you know, you took that 4 weeks to say, hey, man, here's my shot. You get, you know, I tell our players all the time, I can always promise you one opportunity. Everybody in life gets one chance. I can't promise you more than one chance. Some people get more than one. You'd have to ask somebody else why you get more than one, but everybody gets one. And, you know, I took that opportunity and I went with it. And, you know, fortunately we had some success there. You know, the one thing that you learned so much from Coach Bryan while he was here was, as good of an offensive coach as he is and as he was, he let us be a part of it. He taught us how to do those things. So when I got that opportunity, I was prepared. And I took it serious. And, you know, again, the biggest thing as a coach that I've learned so far is it's about belief. You know, our players believed in us. Even the plays that weren't great, they made them work because they believed that everything that came out of our mouth was going to lead to their success. And, you know, that game gave me the confidence, obviously, to move on, and it gave me the confidence to come back. Like, I know I've only done it once, but that one time was a lot of fun and was pretty successful. And, you know, that's what we want to get back to here is going for it, playing fast, going hard, you know, just having fun with it, letting it all hang out. And at the end of the night, that's your goal as a coach, is I want to lay my head down and know that I did everything I could to give our team and our kids the best chance to win. And, you know, obviously those 3 years that we were here before, that we were able to have some success doing that, and the players believed and got it done for us.
When people look at Western Kentucky's offense, what kind of traits do you hope that they recognize when they see the way you all play?
They're going to see us play fast. They're going to see us be very multiple. I think that's what made it so hard on teams schematically, was they just didn't know what was coming next. You know, again, I think for the players, that's what makes it fun. That's what, you know, you come in on Tuesday with a game plan and they see some of the tricks, some of the shots, some of the things that we're going to do downfield. They start to buy in and to believe in those things. You know, first and foremost, we got to see what we have. I think it's ignorant as a coach to walk in somewhere and say, this is who we are, this is what we're going to be. No, we're going to figure out what we have first. We have a philosophy of how we want to do things. But I mean, you look at where we were year 1 and year 2 here to year 3. You know, we really didn't do a lot of RPO game with Brandon, because it was counterproductive. We didn't want him handing the ball off. You know, you wanted him throwing it. You wanted the ball in the air. Whereas you saw year 3, it was a lot more RPO with Mike. A lot, you know, had to run the ball a little more. You know, we'd lost two really good wideouts, a good tight end, you know, some NFL guys, and so you had to adjust. I think that's what makes a good offensive coach, is making adjustments and seeing what our guys do best, and let's go execute those things. But we are going to be a no-huddle team. We are going to play fast. We're going to have a lot of fun with it. We're going to be very multiple. I think a lot of the motions and shifts and things that can kind of put a decoration on things, you know, it's a lot of the same scheme, but to the defense it looks completely different. You'll see a lot of that stuff. And you know, again, we're going to have fun with it, and I promise you, after each game, there's going to be a lot of plays that, you know, are going to be way down the field.
What are the responsibilities from guys like Lucky and Quinn and some of these guys that were here when you were here, I guess Coach Elton too, when you all were here prior? How excited have they been in their talks with you all for you all to be back? Yeah,
the players seem really excited. Again, I think that's the most important thing, is they believe in us. You know, I said in that last press conference of there was a love between a group of players and coaches that I had never been a part of. That, you know, we got a lot. You know, I thought those 3 years we really brought this program to a new level, and you know, that's a credit to Coach Bryan. That's a credit to those kids, and that's the level we want to get it back to. And if we can get better than that, we'd like to do that too. They seem really excited. They seem, you know, like they're ready to buy in. They know that it was tough. You know, we didn't go out there and execute those Saturdays like we did because we just played around all week. We worked hard at it. You know, they knew that, You know, the weight room is going to be tough. The buy-in this off season in the spring ball is going to be hard. You know, there's going to be a lot of work that goes into it. But they see the success that was had. They see the, you know, even the guys that didn't make it to the NFL for the rest of their life, they're champions. And I think that's what they want to be. And, you know, at the end of this spring, we'll see where we are. But I think, you know, there's a lot of confidence on both sides. You know, I believe in those kids. I recruited a lot of them, and I believe in them. And when they believe in us and we believe in them, I think good things can really happen.
Bryan, I'll preface this with, I realize it's only December 17th and the first game is way down the road. But if you and Coach Helton determined on game day 2 parts, will you be on the sidelines or up in the press box? And have you determined which one of you will actually call the plays on game day?
You'll have to ask Coach Helton who's going to call the plays. That's going to come from him. We've had preliminary talks about where I'll be. I'll probably be up in the box. There's a trust between him and I that is really, really strong. And to be honest with you, it's been a while, you know, other than, I guess, late this year where he was moved to the field, that he's been on the field. So, you know, that person that's in the box is really the eyes and ears of what's going on the field. There's got to be a trust level between those 2 guys that's strong. And that, you know, that trust between him and I is really good. So that's probably where I'll start. I like to be down on the field, to be quite honest with you. I like to be in the action. I like to be able to look. You know, I was down on the field at SC this year, and frankly, given the option to be in the box, but I chose to be on the field. And I like looking those guys in the eyes. But at the end of the day, I'm going to do what's best for us. And right so far, what we've talked about, I'm going to be upstairs.
Bryan, I asked Coach Tyson Helton this the day he had his press conference as head coach. But from your vantage point, how are Coach Bryan and Coach Helton similar, and how are they different?
Well, they're very similar in how knowledgeable they are. They are very, very player-oriented. It's about those kids. And that's, you know, the last 3 head coaches now, from Coach Bryan to Coach Clay Helton and now to Coach Tyson Helton, that's the biggest thing about those guys. And there's a lot of coaches out there like that. I just don't have experience with those. Those are the 3 I've worked for that are that way, that it's all about the players. Good or bad, man, they get 4 to, we're going to do this for a lifetime. They get 4 to 5 years. And when they leave here, no matter what happened on the field, you want them to have a great experience. You want them to get a college degree. You want them to have a good time. You want it to be fun. At the end of the day, this is a game. I know the coaches get hired and fired fast, but, man, for the players, it's supposed to be fun. And, you know, that's where they're similar. You know, they're both fiery guys. I'd say Coach Helton can get a little more fiery at times. He's a coach's kid, kind of like I am, and you know, we take this thing serious. You know, I tell all the recruits and a lot of people I talk to, you know, majority of the meals I've ever eaten in my life are put on the table because of the game of football. You know, my dad's a high school coach, has been or was for 40 years, and you know, this game is meaningful to us. And there's a right and a wrong way to do it, and we're going to do it the right way. And it's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be tough. But that's the way football is supposed to be played, and that's what leads to success. You know, you talk to the guys that played for us before, and those on those successful teams, they don't remember the hot day. They remember the winning. They remember the championships. They remember the rings they get to wear. They remember, you know, Forrest Lamp remembers that he walks around the stadium and he's got 2 or 3 banners with his face on it. That's what they remember. And they'll go through the hard work as long as they see the light at the end of the tunnel. They see that success, you know, that able to come. And it's about the players. And, you know, I think I'm a good coach, but I'm a lot better coach when I got really good players to coach. And so it's about those kids, and we'll get it back to being about those guys and those guys believing in us, and hopefully that turns into some winning.
Maybe you knew him before he got here, but just your early impressions of your fellow coordinator, Coach White.
I didn't know Coach White. You know, anytime you leave a program, you kind of follow it a little bit. I followed it. You know, I tracked those kids' success. I wanted them to be just as successful as they were before. And so, you know, the kids speak very highly of him. You know, my dealings with him in the last 2.5 weeks have been awesome. I think he's a sharp dude. I'm really not looking forward to having to play against him in spring ball. I think what they do defensively is hard. You know, I think it will make us better. But, you know, him as a person, him as a human being has been phenomenal. You know, he let my wife, we have a new 9-month-old daughter, and he let my wife borrow their babysitter the other night. So that tells you how he is as a person. And we'll see football-wise where it goes from here. But, man, so far these 2.5 weeks, I've been fired up, and I can't wait to work with him.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.